Keyhole. That was the original, and that was on Iowa and Pine. Original movie theater, and they converted over to the Keyhole.
Keyhole.
And I don't know where the name originated, but that was originally a movie theater.
Oh, wow.
Which was called a Ritz. Then I think it had some other name before that, but the floor was slant, so you had to build it up from the stage to finish to nothing. Well, that was one of the jobs I was doing that time, so it finalized opened the Keyhole. And so when we finished that, that's when he opened the Keyhole. But in the meantime, big bands was the thing then, and he'd promote the big bands, one night stand. And there was two places he used to promote them, the Library Auditorium, which is a culture center now in Hackberry. Then the Municipal Auditorium down here, which changed to Tobin Hill. And that's where they had Jim Cullen Jr. services when he passed away. And I was working along in it also. When we built the floor up, you were hammering the wood with regular hammers. You didn't have air guns, so you worked. But there was always work in the Keyhole to build it up to open it. And when they opened it, most of the people would attend to it because they wanted to hear music. They wanted to enjoy themselves. They'd go out for the night, no problems. And at that time, BOYB, bring your own bottle. And I was behind the bar then and going to high school. So I'm a bar man. That's why I don't know much about Dad's traveling all.
Because you were behind the bar.
His life. I worked all my life.
Yeah.
That's what people have. Well, what can contribute to longevity?
Oh, well.
I said work, and more work. Because every time he booked a one-night band, I was behind the bar.
So
when he opened the Keyhole, everybody, it was the first integrated club, put it that way.
Yeah.
So everybody would go to enjoy the music, and he had 2 floor shows a night. People, special entertainers. And when the rodeo was here, a lot of people from the rodeo would attend. So someone asked him, said, Don, how come you integrated the club? He said, I didn't integrate it. The people wanted it. They're the ones who did it. So I'm not going to fight them, let them do it, And then there was no humbugs, no trouble at all between the races. They'd go out to have a good time, and they did. And they enjoyed the floor show and everything. So that's about all I know. And I could tell you, behind the bar, all we served was beer, 7-Up, Coke, a setup, with a bowl of ice, cherries, lemon, and 2 sodas or a pitcher of water, something. No liquor.
No liquor.
You brought your own bottle. And after curfew time, people would take the bottle off the table and put it on the floor. And drink laced coffee, That was the big thing. All the GIs from Fort Sam and everybody would come over. First integrated club in San Antonio. And he opened that in 1942.
Wow.
And he had top entertainment. He had a floor shows. And then when he booked the one-night stand bands, they'd go to the Keyhole for after party. And that's where a lot of musicians would sit in with the house band, and y'all would come up with, some riffs and stuff that was missing or incorporated in their music. And I worked there behind the bar as a kid going to school.
How much did you make?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I didn't get paid, but on the second one, when I went to New Orleans, I told him, Dad, I'm not coming back. That's when he opened the Keyhole on West Popular, 1900 block, and the building's still there.
Oh,
but the old one everything is torn out on the corner of the block. It's gone. And it had a cafe adjoining it. But I worked behind the bar as a kid. I worked building the floor from nothing, from the stage to nothing in the old first Keyhole. And I'd get behind the bar when the bands would be promoted down there. And then when I went to New Orleans, I told him, Dad, I'm not coming back. I had a job over there, I was doing good. He'd get on the phone early in the morning. Governor, he called me Governor. I need your help down here. They're stealing me blind. I said, Dad, I told you. I wasn't coming back. I'm working. He kept on. Tell you what, he said, I will pay you your salary. Plus, when I settle with my partner, I'll give you half of mine. I said, Dad, I told you, I didn't want to come back. He put mother on there one morning. And well, you know, mothers and make it melt.
Yeah.
So I ended up coming back in 50. And that's when we opened the other Keyhole on the West Poppy.
That the Keyhole, the second one's all original on the inside.
So we gotta play.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Yeah, maybe when I'm here during the summer or something, we'll do a little tribute concert for your dad.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
No, I stopped by there one day. This fellow was he's writing a book about Dad too. He's from Austin. Mel is his name, and we stopped by there one day, and there was a fellow outside, and I asked, is it okay if I go in and visit? He said, yeah, go ahead.
Is that Mel Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
know
know
him.
Mel?
I know him, yeah.
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 You know, it's a small world.
It is when you're into this.
You get to meeting people and say, oh, you know so? Yeah, I know so.
Can you tell me about some of the people who came and played at the Keyhole?
Well, a lot of your big bands that would go, some of the players would come there and sit in with the house band. And this is how they come up with a lot of different types. You know, they didn't put something else in there, some notes or something. That's how you could emphasize on different type of music. You add something, you pick up something. And this would go on at the Keyhole. And the people just stay until the last floor show was over with, because the floor show was good. There was not a couple, but a trio, Ann Henry, dance group, her and two fellas. They were well known. There's a girl now, I've noticed I had a record of Ernestine Allen, called her Jeep for short. She sang at the Keyhole for a pretty good while.
Oh, wow.
And then they'd have when the rodeo was in town, they had a special deal, a barn dance. They come over at the Keyhole. You know, dressed like cowboys and cowgirls, and they had there's pictures of it right over there, the cow on the stage, and everyone asks, is that a real cow? If you look at it, you can tell that it's short legs, real short. And at that time, you had a well-known trios that traveled.
Yes, sir.
That was a big thing, the trio, and that's the Ink Spot, the original Ink Spot right up there. And then Dizzy Gillespie right there at the bus. Dad never met him at the bus. And that's Fats Morton, the original drummer with Dad's band. Had Gene Cooper down there, Duke's drummer, and his trumpet player. And then on the left, very bottom, Fred Renner's a partnership. He was in partnership with Dad on the west side. He got him to come back and do this place on the west. And next to that is Duke. And then if you pan down on the very bottom, way in the corner, Nat King Cole and his wife.
Oh, in that middle picture.
Yeah, and that was down there on the very bottom. And he's sitting way in the corner, you can't hardly see it. But that's who that was. And that's at the Keyhole.
Wow.
That was at the latest Keyhole.
Wow.
Were there any particularly memorable nights at the Keyhole where anything happened? I mean, it doesn't even have to be about music per se, but anything crazy happened? Or?
Yeah. One time, Dad had booked a band here, and then they were going to have the after party at the Keyhole. So they made people made reservations for the Keyhole. And when it was time, when it broke up over, people started coming, and they wanted to get in and get their seats. Well, they couldn't get in because it was too crowded. I mean, they're trying to let the people in who had reservations first. So they start pushing and going on trying. And then the entrance is shaped like a Keyhole. So the ones inside started a humbug, a fight. So they're fighting in here, they're fighting to get in. So we had to end up calling the police department.
Hmm.
But the maitre d', the fellow used to seat the people, he picked up one of them big tables with the hard top and put it in the doorway so we could close the door. So that's what happened. We closed the door. They were fighting inside. They couldn't come in the morning. We pushed them out the side door where the cafe was. We had a line, the family and the Keyhole, the waiters, the waitresses. We're doing like pushing them out. You get it, take it, push it out, push it out. Then we closed that, and then the police came and they cleared it up.
Man.
And it wasn't between the races the fight.
It's
Gets
just-
people mad, and you know, 'cause they couldn't get their seats, and the one got the seats, and it just one humbug. I don't know how it started.
This was at the first Keyhole?
First Keyhole.
Wow, okay.
Do you recall sort of the circumstances around the opening of the second Keyhole?
When did he open? He opened well, it was opened in 1950s when they opened, and I was here at the time, and I was behind the bar as usual. But then, and then there, I think it was 75 cents cover charge. And they serve, at both Keyholes, they serve food. They had a kitchen. Over here, they had the kitchen off from the Keyhole. You go out by the bar and the double doors. And the waitresses would take the order for food, come in, bring it in. And the second Keyhole on West Poplar, the kitchen was built in the building.
Oh, okay.
And that was down on the far end on the left as you faced. And you had the check room, which is check coats and hats at that time. Yeah, that's what people wore, you know.
Sure.
They'd go, well, similar to this youngsters, they go dressed up, you know, they didn't fool around.
Yeah. Can you tell me about sort of what a regular night would have been like there at the second Keyhole? You know, did you also have floor shows there, or was it sort of a different?
We had the same thing, 2 floor shows,
Mm-hmm.
11, and then 1 at 1.
Oh wow.
Late night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was late. We had, and then on a Saturday especially, we'd stay late, we'd close up the place, move all the tables and chairs, sweep it down, mop it, move them all that way, clean that side. And then by that time it's getting to be early in the morning, because around 2 o'clock is when we started cleaning the place. So when we go to church at 5 o'clock mass down at St. Mary's, everybody in there was fighting to sleep, their heads bobbing.
Wow.
Then when we got home, we lived on Lambrana Street. Then when the Keyhole was on this side of town, couldn't get them together.
Yeah.
You know, when that one was on the west side, we lived over here. We lived on the west side also, but not when the Keyhole was over. This Keyhole was over. We lived on Lambrana between Sabinas and Navidad. We couldn't get them together. So, yes.
Huh.
The second one, we didn't have any problem there, none that I know of. And we had there was a lot of exits there. And this fellow Roper that was with the tobacco and liquor over there that tried to give Dad a hard time about the club because he didn't want integration.
Integrated club, yeah.
That was his main top, but he, you know, he didn't let you know that's what it was. Well, we knew that's what it was. And he tried to close that up for different things. And that building that they had, they reworked the whole thing. He brought people from Louisiana, sheetrock, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and they redone the whole building. He said the ceiling was sinking. Well, they had just reworked it. I think resinking. That was one reason. Another one, he said, you didn't have enough exits. As you come in the front door, you got a double door. The big doors, you push the handle to go out. To your right, double doors, middle of the building. You go by the stage, you had a door there, you can go out the back door. Next to that was the kitchen, double doors, you can go out there. And then you come back, you go out the door at the office. how much more exits you need? That was the thing. Then he said it was too crowded.
Can you tell me about sort of what a regular night would have been like there at the second Keyhole? You know, did you also have floor shows there, or was it sort of a different?
We had the same thing, 2 floor shows,
Mm-hmm.
11, and then 1 at 1.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Late night.
Yeah, we had, and then on a Saturday especially, we'd stay late, we'd close up the place, move all the tables and chairs, sweep it down, mop it, move them all that way, clean that side. And then by that time it's getting to be early in the morning, because around 2 o'clock is when we started cleaning the place. So when we go to church at 5 o'clock mass down at St. Mary's, everybody in there was fighting to sleep, their heads bobbing. Well,
Wow.
then when we got home, we lived on Lambrana Street. Then when the Keyhole was on this side of town, couldn't get them together.
Yeah.
You know, when that one was on the west side, we lived over here. We lived on the west side also, but not when the Keyhole was over.
Mhm.
This Keyhole was over. We lived on Lambrana between Sabinas and Navidad. We couldn't get them together. So.
So what advice do you have for younger musicians or younger people who like this music or anything, just from what you've seen and what you've witnessed?
Well, whatever type music you like, go for it. Music, I'm not speaking about that other stuff.
Yeah.
Get involved in it, learn more about it, you could enjoy it a lot better. That's all I can say about that.
Great speaking with you, and thank you for letting me into your home.
Well, you know, it's a pleasure. Whenever I meet someone that's interested in something like that just builds me up a lot better.
She was a time in love with a guy. She talked to him but didn't know why. Everyone blamed her, everyone named her. He gave her nothing, he gave him all. And when he stood his back to the wall, who thought to save him, now and forgave him. He got a friend.